Hey everyone, welcome to this session of my YouTube video. I'm going to go ahead and answer questions and comments on the YouTube here. Looking forward to answering your questions. Hey, if you've not subscribed to my channel, go and click the link below, subscribe, and hit the notification link. I give out freebies such as a free coaching session with me. I give out free ebooks and other prizes that I'd like to see you win. If you want to be one of my lucky winners, subscribe and hit the notification link. So my first question comes from Mr. Comfortable. Mr. Comfortable, welcome. I love the name. It says, how do you find family members of clients? That is a great question. So the first thing I do is the sites that I use. One of them, and some of the sites that you use, have relatives on them when you go. Even a site like True People Search or Free People Search give that. When you click in a name and a city, oftentimes, what's interesting, and I've had this happen a lot on coaching calls where clients will say, okay, True People Search doesn't work on this. So we put their name in, and sure enough, it's a cell phone number that's 2 or 3 years old. But then we scroll down to relatives, and I click on a relative, they'll say, oh yeah, that's my younger brother. Okay, we click on, and his cell phone number's accurate, or my mother, okay, and her cell phone's accurate. So in most search engines, they will have relatives listed at one part or another. If they don't, and this is some advice that I wish someone had given me back in the day, if they don't, you can go into like Ancestry.com. I have a number of people finding people that way. I know that the obituaries, if you know they're deceased, people have been able to pull up and find relatives. Like she's survived by a daughter that lives in New Mexico. During my live cold calls a couple weeks ago on the Facebook group, I was calling somebody, and I called a neighbor. It had associates on the search engine I was using. So and True People Search has that. And the lady goes, I bought a house from her 10 years ago, but I sold that house. I don't have that. Is she saying she knows me? And I said, no. I said, she's deceased. And I said, I'm really trying to get a hold of a family member. Well, she has a daughter. I didn't know she had a daughter. It wasn't coming up on the searches. That lady called me back and said, yeah, I pulled out all the paperwork from the cell. I finally found the daughter's name. The daughter coordinated the cell. And she goes, I don't have a phone number for her, but her name was here, and I know she moved into New Mexico. That was great. I was actually able to locate the daughter with that information. So it's finding a relative or someone that knows them. If you find them on, say you find them on Facebook and they're not responding to your message, oftentimes if you go to people they know and it has a section where you can see the people they know, who has the same last name than them, do they have any family members listed? You can also go on LinkedIn. You can find them on LinkedIn. One of the problems with LinkedIn is people are either on or they're off. Like they don't check their LinkedIn a whole lot. It's kind of the one that you're either hot for business on LinkedIn or you're not on at all. So that's how that one works right there. So those are just a couple ways that you could help find family members of clients. McMahon writes, man, I dig the way you break the logic down with enthusiasm. It's motivating. Hey, McMahon, thank you. I really try to make my channel motivating because I know for me, I know that a lot of times you're going to get pushback in this business and you have to push forward to be successful, and you have to be willing to go up and just keep on trying. You fall, you get back up on your feet, and you try again and you try again. So you have to be willing to go forward with it. So thank you. I appreciate that. So this next question is, how do I get the check to come to my business name and what do I use? So I think what he's asking is, how do I get it to come to my business name and then what business name do I use? So I have a corporation, it's JD Vista, and that handles all my state funds. I have an EIN number for that, or if I do an assignment of funds, if it's a tax overage, and the check will come to that corporation. And then what I do is I cash the check into a business checking account, and then I'm a signer and on that account where I can pay bills, pay myself, do what I want to do. So that's how I get my checks. You could just register. You could open up, and there's different businesses you have out there where you can easily open up like an LLC. I would say, and I love California, it's a great state, but for tax purposes, do it outside of the state of California. And if you're in California, forgive me for saying that, I'm in California myself, but do it outside of the state of California and into another state. So this next one asks me, does the surplus funds get covered in Florida? And yeah, we cover all the states. So yes, it would absolutely work in Florida. So Eric's asking about the 2 forms that need to be mailed to the client. So Eric, if you're in California, there is the claim for abandoned property, and there's the investigator standard agreement that needs to be signed between you and the client. But what you want to do is find out exactly what your client has, because there's so many different rules. And although I have done surplus deals in California, it's hard for me to be able to say, oh, this one works, because there's bank accounts, which is different than a private property, which is different than stock accounts, which is different than an estate, which I'm dealing with the deal right now where it's a mother. And after looking at the deal, it's a mother, her son's deceased, and it's been a very emotional case. And she's asked, she's agreed to work with us. Probate's being opened up because it's a corporation, and sometimes I've seen this, sometimes I haven't. So now we're having to go back. We've kept that communication and letting her know that we're here to work with her. And even as probate gets opened up, we've just reached out to her and we just said, hey, I know this is hard for you, and here's some additional documents we're gonna need. And she was great. She's like, yeah. She goes, you know what? She goes, David, whatever you need, I'll get to you. And I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. And with that being said, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps telling you this because this mother really opened up to me on the phone, and she really has a sad situation. And honestly, more than anything, I would like to see her get taken care of at the end of the day. I mean, she's a great lady. She's got a great heart, and it's really a tragic when a mother has to, or any parent has to bury their child. So just being able to verify the funds you have, being able to verify that they meet the criteria, and that there's no, it usually gives you the documentation in the investigator's handbook if you're working California. So hope that helps with that question. Hey everyone, I really like the question. There is no such thing as a dumb question, and I guarantee you if you're thinking of the question, someone else is thinking of it. So please keep the questions coming. I do try to answer those daily. Also, one more thing, if you've not subscribed to my channel, go and click the subscribe button, click the notification link. I do give out freebies. I'd love for you to be one of my lucky winners. It could be a free coaching session with me. It could be one of my free ebooks, many other little prizes out there. So click, subscribe, and I might even give a free mini course out. I don't even know yet, but there's times I get in these weird moods. I throw stuff out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.